The Viñales Valley, in Cuba's tobacco country, Pinar del Rio province. This is where time slows down, allowing you to step back through the decades and experience Cuba as it might have been a century ago. And there's only one way to get the full effect.
Get on the back of a horse in Viñales Valley, one of the most beautiful places to take a horseback ride. So we're just going to take a short one across the valley floor right now from one finca to another. So here we go. Yeehaw!
We set off through the fields on our way to a tobacco farm for a presentation on the process of creating a Cuban cigar. But first, we had to be charmed out of our saddles by the cuteness of the baby pigs along the way. Recent strange weather patterns pushed planting season back a few months, and the tobacco plants weren't even close to harvesting. But this is the Viñales Valley. Always green, always serene, and always interesting. Nothing goes to waste in Cuba, and a worn-out tractor tire becomes the perfect watering trough for the horses. The tallest buildings out here are the A-frames of the tobacco drying barns throughout the valley. Their high, pointed ceilings provide ventilation and airflow for the leaves, which are hung inside to dry for 1 to 2 months before rolling. As we approached, we were welcomed by a seasoned farmer simply known as the Frenchman, who sat us down and lit up a cigar in the proper fashion.
Toda la vida fumando tabaco.
The lesson had begun. He explained that while in the factories they use maple syrup to bind the leaves, out here in the fields, they use honey as the glue. After finishing the rolling exhibition, he passed out a few for us all to try. Now, I don't smoke, especially cigars, but I couldn't pass up the Frenchman's invitation to go full Cubano.
The Frenchman gave me the nod of approval on my style.
We headed off through the valley for the next stop of the afternoon, a cave exploration on a small family-run coffee farm. In 1999, the Viñales Valley was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its adherence to traditional farming techniques and culture. It's reflected in a distinctive Cuban architectural style, with single-story wooden homes featuring a traditional front porch. Tobacco quality actually suffers from machine farming, and the traditional techniques used here produces a crop recognized as the best in the world. With the surrounding mountains of tall limestone karsts, the scenery reminds me of parts of Southeast Asia. These round mountains, called magotes, provided sanctuary during the slave trade, and those who were able to escape to the valley found refuge from their captors. They were known as maroons and form agricultural communities throughout the valley. As we approached our final stop, I was eager for a cup of java.
Next stop, coffee farm. My favorite.
We strolled past the banana trees towards a small finca where we'd have a traditional Cuban lunch and a cup of homegrown coffee. But first, we'd explore a really interesting cave on their property. Here we learned interesting history and science about the region.
The water comes down through here and is filtered by the limestone, and there is no better filter for water than limestone, so this water is probably pretty safe to drink. You know, the Viñales Valley was once underwater, similar to Ha Long Bay in Vietnam. I'm told that there are fossils all through these caves here. There's one at the entrance to the cave for sure, and I think there might be one right here behind me. Really interesting topography here in Viñales.
On the walk back, I stopped to check out the coffee trees, whose sweet-smelling white flowers and red cherries were getting me revved up. This is Don Rene, and he's been working this land all his life. He explained his coffee producing process, which is pretty much the same it's been here for 200 years, with a few notable exceptions.
This is one of the most Cuban things I've ever seen. This is a coffee roasting pot. It's made out of a car's wheel. This is ingenious, man. Just use what you got.
Like I said, nothing is wasted. Rene's wife, Doña Pepita, brought out some beans to purchase and bring home, and we all sat down to enjoy a home-cooked meal.
Viñales Valley is gorgeous any way you see it, but from the back of a horse, it's especially so. This is my second time. Different trail, different farms. Still absolutely gorgeous, peaceful, just the way to see it. Viva Viñales!